I've worked as a nurse for about 10 years, and my anxiety and depression because of the postpartum psychosis has gotten so bad that I get physically sick trying to work sometimes. I'm currently on short-term disability. There's a lot of stigma about somebody not being able to let go of those beliefs, know that it's not real.
We're talking about what many women say is really embarrassing and shameful because of the expectations they put on themselves. But it needs to be talked about, and these are very courageous women to come here and give it a voice. It'd be so much easier to hide it because of judgment that's associated with it sometimes. We're talking about the topic of postpartum depression and postpartum psychosis. Liz is suffering now and trying to get her meds just right. Teresa says she was an attorney in 1998 with her own practice when she started experiencing hallucinations after the birth of her first child. So Teresa, thank you so much for being here and being willing to talk about this. When this first started happening with you, did you have awareness of what was going on, what was happening with you? Did professionals talk to you about it?
No, I didn't. I knew something was wrong. If I had known about psychosis and the details, I think maybe I could have gotten help, and certainly I think maybe my husband might have been able to intervene because some of the early symptoms were pretty less severe than eventual. I hope I would have reached out for help, but I had no idea, and I didn't know there was help available.
Yeah, and when you listen to Liz describe this, you get it 100%.
Oh, absolutely.
And when it got to its worst with you, describe what that was like.
So the very worst part, as you mentioned, was that I hallucinated that I killed my daughter. She was on the bed with me. She was sleeping. And I saw myself pick up scissors and cut her open. And then I thought, I had been having intrusive thoughts about throwing her down the stairs, and I thought, oh, that's just one of those bad thoughts. And I, very intentionally not looking at her, looked around the room for anything that I might use to harm her. I went to another room, put them in the very back corner of a closet. And all the time I was thinking, like, that was a bad thought. That wasn't real. And I actually went through, so I'm an attorney. I went through thinking, I need help, but what if I seek help? And what if I don't get adequate help? And then what if I do something? And then they'll say that help seeking, they'll use that to show that it was premeditation, and I'll get the electric chair. And then I walked back into the room, and she was in. Saw her there on the bed, cut open with blood everywhere. All this time later, it still just gets to me to talk about it because I feel like in my body it resides like a memory as if it were real. And I don't know how long it sort of took me to sort of come to and realize that she was just sleeping. But that was the worst. That's still the worst.
Yeah, and because it was real to you at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, when we trust ourselves, we believe that we tell ourselves the truth. If we see something and we believe it in the moment, then we don't think we would lie to ourselves. And so that is a memory that you have. Did you ever feel like your daughter would be better without you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you're completely through that at this point. And so, there's, a living example that this does get better, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.